How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a new player that the Aggies signed, he's committed to NMSU. There's also a player that we offered at a high school, so let's get straight into that. The player that committed to New Mexico State is Chris Terrell, Christian Terrell, but I'm sure he'll just go by Chris. But another Christian, and can shoot the ball pretty well like Christian Cook. Not sure if he can shoot as great, but he does have experience playing Division II basketball like Christian Cook. He's also got a lot of experience playing junior college basketball. His first year was the 2020-21 season, so that was during COVID, so he saved a year of eligibility and the whole Pavia rule. He played JUCO for 3 years, and then now he's at, the NCAA level. So he gets like another 4 total years. So he could technically play like 7 years total. This will be his 6th year coming up, and I think he has 1 more year of eligibility after that. So a lot of our other guards that we're signing, they're going to be seniors and stuff probably their last year. He's a guy that could possibly stay for us for 2 years. Yes, he is another guard. I mentioned in one of my recent videos that I didn't think we were going to sign any more guards. And this guy is another guard, and I remember talking about how if we sign any more guards, probably wouldn't get a whole lot of PT, but this guy has proven that he deserves to play a lot. So we'll see what the coaching staff decides to go with that. But he's a scoring machine, kind of like Zadi at the Division II level and the junior college level. A lot of similarities in their games and in Christian Cook's games. So let's break it down. So his three-point shooting wasn't always the greatest. His first year in college basketball at the junior college level only shot 20% while he was playing at Meridian Community College. But he still averaged 10 points a game as a freshman, which isn't too bad at all at any level in college basketball. Shot better from the field, around 40% or just under 40%. His free throw shooting's not, bad. It's not great either. It's about 76%, which isn't bad, but for a guard, you'd want it to be a little bit higher. He's actually a bit of an undersized guard right now. I believe he's about 6 foot 160. But when he was coming into college, he's only 5'10", 145. But he just goes to define the odds. Height-wise, maybe a little bit undersized, but not too much for a college guard. NBA-wise, yes, or professional-wise, yes, but college-wise, not too bad. But weight, yes, definitely. But he makes up for it with his terrific play. Not only does he make up for this terrific play, he does it on the defensive end. This past year, he averaged like 3.5 steals at the Division II level at Delta State. We'll get into that more later on. I kind of want to move my way up from community college to Division II, now to Division I, and hopefully he stays with the Aggies for as long as he can. His second year, he played more games, obviously, because it wasn't the COVID year, so they played a lot more. He started in most of them. His minutes per game went from 16 to 30. Shot the ball a lot better from 3. I think he shot 36% from 3. Cook shot about 37% this last year. Anywhere above 35% is usually pretty good for anybody. Free throw line, in the low to high 70s. He's been on that range his whole community college career, but averaged about 13 points a game. So his scoring definitely improved, and it just kept going up from there. His last year playing community college basketball during the 2022-23 season, which was my freshman year, he averaged about 18 points per game. His shooting splits were pretty similar. And when I looked at his minutes per game, I couldn't tell how much minutes he played. He said he only played 5 minutes a game, which is definitely wrong. I'm assuming he played 30 to 35 a game and was one of the top guys for sure. So yeah, like I said earlier, he played junior college basketball, moved up to D2. And a lot of guys, they don't have the same impact when moving up to a higher level, and they're significantly worse. But just like Christian Cook, he excelled at the Division II level, improved a lot. His first year there averaged about 14 points per game on, again, similar shooting splits. Started most games, did a lot of great things. And not a whole lot of differences from playing junior college basketball. He made the transition very well. This past season, which I already made a post about, he averaged 21.2 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 3.4 steals per game. He's 6 foot 165. I corrected myself. I had to go check to make sure. He's 165, not 160, but pretty similar. But he's lengthy, can get a lot of great steals. Good on the defensive end in that aspect. I'm not saying he's going to come to the Division I level and Conference USA and be average 3 steals a game, but don't be surprised at all if he's like a Deontay Bostic type player. Especially since he probably won't have the same scoring impact. I highly doubt he'll come in here and average 21 a game. I would love for that to happen, don't get me wrong, but kind of like how Zadi was when he averaged 22 at the Division II level. He's been playing with a bunch more guys that can actually score the ball and, hoop a little bit. I'm not saying, none of his teammates could. They definitely could. They're Division II basketball players, but playing at the Division I level for a, really solid mid-major program like NMSU, I think his scoring's not going to be as great, but it's going to still be really effective. He's still a guy I think that could possibly average double figures. Again, not sure if he's going to start or not. There's so many guards and so many forwards that could possibly be guards or guards that could possibly be forwards depending on their height. He's 6 foot, so he's definitely going to play guard. So I'm not sure if he'll start or come to the bench, but could you imagine having a guy come off the bench that average 21 points per game at the Division II level? That would be insane. So I feel like he just adds to our depth really well. A lot of great guards. Hopefully Houdin and his staff continue to sign more posts and forwards. We signed some like Kyrie Mullins, Sir Malonga being a good post, Augustine Ekwe coming in, but we have 5 or 6 really good guards that can go at it. with one of them being Omar Smith, who's an up-and-coming freshman. A lot of times freshmen won't get as much PT, but he's proven to be really good, so I feel like he might get a lot of playing time. But is there really going to be 5 or 6 guards in the rotation? Probably not. We'll just have to see how it all goes. I know last year when I made my prediction video for the starting lineup, I got a lot of them right, but it's going to be a lot harder this year. Again, so many great guards, so many great players overall. So what I might do with that video is, I don't know if I'll get my exact starting lineup prediction, but I'll just give guys that have a high chance of starting, which is a lot of guys on the roster. And when it comes to college basketball, not a lot of guys are used to coming out the bench. It's something you gotta kind of ease into. Luckily for a lot of these guys, like Omar Smith, Augustine Ekwe, they're going to be young freshmen with a lot of time to, develop and get better. Gabe Pickens and Jacoby Osborne coming back. Those are both guys that got a lot of minutes last year as freshmen, so I'm sure it'll be the same for them. But again, we'll just have to see how it all goes. I want to touch briefly on the player that the Aggies offered out of high school. His name's Landyn Colyer. He plays in the Overtime Elite Basketball League, which is a league pretty much for like 16, 20-year-olds that are just really, really good. I believe Luis Duarte, who was a part of the Aggie roster in Hooten's first year but didn't actually play. I'm not sure what went down. But he also played for Overtime Elite. They produce great talent. Not sure if he'll come here. I'm sure he has a lot of offers from other schools. Not sure if he's like a 3-4 star. Not 100% sure. Wasn't able to find a whole lot of information on him. But if he's playing in Overtime Elite, probably pretty good. Also want to talk about Pascal Siakam. Had a really dominant game last night, 39 points. Helped the Pacers take a 2-0 lead against the Knicks, and they're just 2 wins away from making the finals. Again, not a Pacers fan by any means. I actually kind of dislike him in a way. But I really like Pascal. I like the Knicks because of Josh. Well, I don't like the Knicks, but I like Josh Hart on the Knicks. Obviously, me being a big Blazers fan, I could care less what goes down. But there's a lot of, players that used to play in the Blazers that, were in the playoffs this year. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll root for these guys. Where obviously Pascal, being a former Aggie, rooting for them. Trevin Queen on the Magic, rooting for them. But it's like, again, I'm not too upset when they lose. I just root for the players to play well, and that's what Pascal is doing. And hopefully he can make a large impact and help the Pacers go as far as they can. That's going to close out the video today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.